Never knew a regular family could build a fence, right? What if I told you you don't even need a whole family? I can do it all by myself. The first step is to attach the bracket to the post. When doing so, make sure the posts are all lined up nicely so they end up the same height. Place the bracket at your desired height, and then make sure the other ones are lined up right next to it so they all end up the same height. When installing the brackets onto the post, make sure you put them on one side for now. Why? I'll explain later. You should first measure the distance between the posts. The panels are about 6.5 feet long, and so should the intervals between the holes. After measurement, place a marker on either side. Take a red string and tie it tight between each marker to make sure it's straight. Now we're going to dig some holes. It's a mandatory step in any kind of fencing. There are many ways to dig the holes. You could simply buy a plot hole digger for about 20 to 40 bucks from a home and garden store, or you can just rent a powered one-man auger. When digging a hole, make sure it's 18 inches or more, but no less. The next step is to put the posts in the holes. Remember not to just fill it with dirt and think it's going to stay steadily forever. We need cement to stabilize the posts. Luckily, there are many kinds of cement we need. Just pour, and it's ready. There are two kinds of rails. One rail has holes that go all the way through it, and the other rail has holes that go on one side, but that don't go all the way through. The one that doesn't go all the way through goes on the top, and the one that does go all the way through goes right below it. Remember how I told you only want to put the brackets on one side of the post? Well, this is why. One of the brackets you need to place on top of the rail. Then you want to put the one side of the rail into the bracket that's already been installed to the post. Now you can attach the bracket to the other post. If you attach it too early, then you won't be able to insert the rail into it. Make sure the holes at the bottom of the picket are facing towards the other pickets. If you see a hole facing toward you, then you did it wrong. The installation of the picket is actually very easy. You just simply slide it down, listen for the clicks, and ready. After all panels are done, the only thing left is the gate. The installation of the gate is even easier than the panels. Let's line up all the parts on the ground. Now we pull one rail, the one that has holes on both sides, and insert two gate pickets into either end of the rail. After that, pull this rail up, grab another rail that has holes going through it, and place it underneath the first one. Drive the two pickets, pull the third rail, the one that has a hole only on one side, at the bottom, and securely lock the pickets into the third rail. And pull the two through rails down. Flip the gate over. The end rail is on the floor now. Pull up the first rail back to the lock hole. Once you hear the click, the rail is securely locked into the pickets. Now, we are going to install the frames of the gate. First, insert the brackets through each gate frame post. Make sure the angles are facing the correct directions as shown in this video. Insert the three rails of the gate panel into the corresponding brackets on one side of the frame post. Loosen the screws on the top and bottom brackets. Adjust the second rail to the correct distance. Repeat the same exact process on the other end of the frame. Lift up the gate and install the remaining pickets just like the fence panels. Drive the caps into the open end of each picket. Install hinges and locking pieces on the gate. Ta-da! All set! Installing the picket is really easy. You simply just slide it down through the holes. Remember the rail with one hole? Now we can put it on top. After you install the top rail, all you need to do is take the picket, pull it up, and when you hear the click, you're done. Now we pull one rail, the one that has holes on both sides, and insert 2 gate pickets into either end of the rail. Then, now, lift the gate up with the rails on top and pull the 2 through rails down. Pull the third rail, the one that has a hole only on one side, at the bottom and securely lock the pickets into the third rail. Insert the 3 rails of the gate panel into the corresponding brackets on one side of the frame post. Fasten the screws on the top and bottom brackets. And then fasten the screws. At last, install hinges and locking pieces on the gate and on the fence panel. Ta-da! Now we're done!